Will, how are things looking out there right now?
Well, things have significantly grown here in the last several minutes. We got here at about 11:15 or so. I'd say the crowd size is just about doubled. And remember, we're out here today because you have Bakersfield students from across high schools across the city, from East High, Miramonte, BHS. We filmed all over the place today. That's where these folks are all coming from. And they're all protesting ICE and DOJ in particular. We're seeing lots of Mexican flags. We're also seeing several from Honduras, Guatemala, and El Salvador as well that have flags from protesters that are here. We're not going too close into the signs. They have some choice language. We'll have some more of those signs later in the day as we go on here. But pretty impressive scenes of at least 100 people that have shown up here so far. And most are of that high school age. Most people that we're seeing are of that younger age as well. You're hearing lots of cars drive by honking, whether or not in support or just to get people moving. You're seeing ATVs, four-wheelers like you're seeing right there going through too. It's some man-made scooters made from like lawnmower type of engines that were also driving around. You can kind of see in the background, if not now, some black circles that were made in the middle of the street. Again, all here protesting ICE raids and, of course, DOJ, which has been a department headed up by tech billionaire Elon Musk.
Will, how are things looking out there right now?
Yeah, things started over at the City Hall, but they've since migrated over here to the Kern County Courthouse. Now, across the street behind us, actually, is the Kern County Superintendent of Schools. And why is that important? Because these protesters are coming from a lot of Bakersfield high schools in the area. Specifically here, BHS. We also spoke to another student that was coming from West, and they're all here protesting ICE in particular, also DOJ, which was passed along on a flyer earlier. And as you can see, there's a lot of cars revving their engines as well, some loud horns. And again, if you see any signs that may have some choice language, we apologize for that in advance. But we were over on the other side of the street, very peaceful. We were walking through and talking with a couple of the people that were joining in this protest, both that are students in high school, another person that wanted to join in on the protest. And again, you can hear all these horns going through. We'll have it will be a Bakersfield, so it looks like it's a Bakersfield fire ambulance driving through in the background here, making their way through. It doesn't seem to be related to the protest. They are blowing by this street, but largely peaceful. In fact, there's even some dancing on the other side. You see a lot of Mexican flags. You also see a lot of flags from Honduras, El Salvador, and Guatemala as well, from folks that are out here supporting. The one lone thing so far not peaceful at this particular area, where again students are protesting recent ICE raids, immigration raids, were three look like man-made scooters that were revved up by an engine similar to that of a lawnmower that were making circles in the middle of the street back there. They made some black circles. They were holding up traffic for about 2 minutes or so. After that, traffic blew through, and some protesters that were on the corner were even saying, "Don't do that." They welcomed them off the side of the street. Those protesters with those lawnmower-like scooters have since vanished, and that's the scene that we're seeing at the moment right here, Kyle. It's been, again, very largely peaceful. It grew in significant size from when we first got here around 11:15 to 12 o'clock. Protest size now about the same, but you have a ton of onlookers from the area, as there would be. This is one of the most populous parts of Bakersfield in the downtown city area, so lots of looky-loos, as we like to call them, that are out here. And of course, as you hear with some of those horns, lots of people that are honking their horns, revving their engines in support of the message that is being passed along. Again, Bakersfield high school students all coming out to protest ICE raids and DOJ, headed by tech billionaire Elon Musk. Kyle, I'll send things back to you. We'll have a full story later tonight.
Eyewitness News reporter Will Silverstein was in the middle of the scenes on our noon broadcast for KBAK CBS. Will, what does it look like there now?
Well, Michael, I'm sure you've heard of the phrase, "Don't rain on our parade," and maybe "Don't rain on the protest." Drops are starting to fall now, and there is no sight of the more than 100 people that were out here earlier today protesting ICE, as we had talked about in those ICE raids that have been going on throughout the Central Valley. And these were all, for the most part, I should say, Bakersfield high schools students from across the city. We talked to several people from schools, including BHS, not too far from here, also West High School, Miramonte, to name a few. And again, all protesting ICE raids and keeping alive the Central Valley immigrant identity.
It was just important for me because my parents are immigrants, and it just came out to support, and I wanted to do a movement for them.
This 18-year-old Bakersfield High School student who goes by Brian was telling Eyewitness News about his parents' story and how it motivated his showing up to the protest. While being there is personal for Brian, he wants to show what Central Valley immigrants mean to America.
We're not just somebody that you can walk over. We do a lot for this country.
Across the street from the Kern County Superintendent of Schools office and at the Kern County Courthouse, Bakersfield High School students from across the city are protesting ICE. Why do you think it was important today to come out here?
I think it's very important because I feel like it's going to be a part of history one day.
History in the making. That's how Devin, an 18-year-old West High student, sees today's Truxtun Avenue protest. Devin also believes it's a chance to bring a voice to the voiceless.
I feel like some people don't get the voice. I feel like some few people don't get the voice, and we're just making it known right now,
ICE should not be here doing this to people.
Kathleen Stiles, a local school instructor, heard about the high schoolers protesting and came out to support.
Education is the way you keep a free country, and that's why I really care.
Stiles sharing her daughter, a Bakersfield college student, has friends at BC that are concerned about the recent ICE raids across the valley and the country.
She said the kids in her classes are horrified because they're going to lose their Pell Grants, and they're terrified because they have relatives who are undocumented.
Students have protected First Amendment rights to express their opinion.
Bakersfield College professor Ian Anderson says whether or not these students get unexcused absences on their time card, they are allowed to peacefully protest.
There's something to be learned about engaging in civic engagement like this, and there is a very strong life lesson in having the courage to express your opinion.
While some could be playing hooky all day, Brian will not be.
Can't be out here all day. You have to get my education still.
Both getting an education and showing up for his family are important to the 18-year-old.
It's finally my chance to do something for them because they always do something for me. So I just felt like I'm obligated to do something for them.
Now, those familiar with this area know that the Kern County Courthouse has a lot more public space available for people walking around. This protest originally was supposed to be at City Hall across the street. So many people were on the street corners that they went over to this side of the street. Now, City Council is meeting tonight. We'll keep you up to date if we see any protesters heading into that building as City Council gets underway. Reporting in downtown Bakersfield, Will Silverstein, Eyewitness News.